Well, welcome everybody. Hope we're all doing good. Today will be the end, I'm pretty sure, as I've just written in the description for this video, the end of Living World Season 1. In as much as we'll be finishing the main storyline, there are obviously the, the collectibles and things. I know we're pretty late in the day here, I still haven't really decided whether I'm going to put those all to video or not. It's funny because there's quite a few things I want to do. Once I've beaten this, I kind of just want to review Season 1. Just put out one video, Season 1's re-implementation reviewed. That would be nice, but I feel like I can't do that until I've got all the side collectibles, so maybe I want to do that first. But then there was a big balance preview that went up on the forums last night, and I don't know. I'm in a very weird place with Guild Wars at the moment where I think I'm sort of reconnecting with the story and the world and stuff. This is going to sound like it's just me to you guys, because people have always, typecast me or whatever and thought I'm just about the story. Normally, my enthusiasm is very, very much for the gameplay and the balance and, the mechanics and stuff. And then there's a good proportion of that that's always been interested in the story, but usually there's a very, very healthy mix, and I would say much more leaning towards the gameplay. But I'm in a really weird place with the game at the moment where, to be honest, I started reading that balance feedback thing last night, and I only got a few sentences in before the whole thing just made me feel really, I won't say miserable, but not good. And I just sort of thought, this is not going to be fun to read. This is just not going to be interesting at all. And so it's a very weird thing for me to be, I kind of want to start reading about the balance and stuff, but I'm still totally disconnected from that stuff, I'm I'm connecting back with the story, but none of these other things. So I don't know what I want to do. There are, of course, just all the other things that I might have missed out on. I want to know if they've done any live streams supporting these Living World releases. On the Spud Discord, I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous part, but people were, posting whiteboards and stuff that the devs have revealed of, their ideas for various Icebrood Saga parts, and it is really interesting to look at. A lot of the writers responsible for that, I think, now have moved on, though, so I don't know what we can really say about all of it. But, yeah, I love the shadows here, too. I don't know why I'm noticing the shadows so much now, but these windmills have always been awesome. So yeah, anyway, let's run on in here. We are at the Battle for Lion's Arch. In the previous part, we had just a crap ton of dialogue. But we also did the Escape from Lion's Arch section. Look at this, look at this. The connecting the pieces part is just so huge. Right, we did this, basically. Our fears were realised. Lion's Arch came under siege. Aether Blade airship. I need to sort my desk out, man. Aether Blade airship swept in and opened fire without warning. Chaos provided the perfect cover for Scarlet's forces to move in for the kill. We rushed into the city to give aid as best we could, but the enemy had overwhelmed and routed the Lion Guard amid a growing miasma of toxic gas. We did our best to push back against our foes and evacuate the citizens, but the loss of life was severe. I've never seen such ruin in Lion's Arch, not since Zaitan's assault on Claw Island. That's a nice touch. I took a moment between escort groups to peer over to the harbour, where a massive drill had lowered from Scarlet's flying fortress, pushing deep into the bedrock below. That's interesting. We didn't actually see that happen, did we? We didn't see the drill go into the bedrock. Or did we? And I've just blacked out. Anyway, then we did this. The evacuation camps. Camps in Lornar's Pass, Bloodtide Coast and Gendaran Fields were set up by the orders of Tyria as refugees poured out of the city. I made the rounds at the camp near Vigil Keep. This is really well written. It's very clear that there were other camps, but the one we did was the Vigil one. Tammy was there questioning the refugees. I'd never seen her so deflated. Her impression of Scarlet had changed a lot after she saw what the brilliant engineer was capable of and what she was willing to do. That said, there was something new about the progeny, a fresh determination, a focus. Meanwhile, morale was low among the refugees, but the Lion Guard and the orders of Tyria were already poised and prepared for a counterattack. We were going to retake Lion's Arch. Read the letter. Data gathering yield. How many of those have we collected now? 10 of them. It's quite interesting that this has made it to 4 parts, by the way. If you think of each part as an hour and a half, I don't know whether that's actually true. That makes this a 6-hour release. I mean, I've done a bit of rambling, I guess. Alright, Captain Magnus, the Bloody-Handed, Captain's Council, Lion's Arch. We're taking back LA. This was obviously another 2 weeks later. The Lion Guard have regrouped, and we're ready. With our allies from the Vigil, the Dermot Priory, and the Order of Whispers, we will storm Lion's Arch, establish rally positions, cut down Scarlet's forces, and take the fight to Scarlet herself. By the way, I think this all happened just after Winter's Day. It was either just before or just after, but I think it was in January releases, these. which was like a year after it had all started with Flame and Frost and whatever. After a year of suffering, invasion, and death at her hands, we have Scarlet right where we want her. Come to Lion's Arch with your rage and your best weapons. Show no mercy to Scarlet and her damned followers. Today begins a battle that will be sung about for years to come. Fight alongside me as we take back our city and wipe Scarlet off the face of Tyria forever. To battle. This is a cool moment for Captain Magnus. So yeah, that's it really. And now we can get in and see what the final assault is like. Once again, these would have been big open world, party-based missions before. Now they're single player or up to 5. Oh, we got a spud outside. Lion Guard, Peltnor.
Speak.
Commander, it's a relief to see you joining the offensive. The Lion Guard, the Orders, and our allies are pushing in from all sides. We're retaking LA here and now. Are you with us? I'm ready to go. Oh, never mind. It's a public instance. I spoke too soon, and we could spin up a squad if we wanted. Storm the city of LA to drive out Scarlet's invading armies. Split up to retake each front and face the final challenge with the Assault Knights. Nice, so they did it for Tower of Nightmares. They've done it for the Marionette, though it dates before the re-implementation. And they've done it for the Battle for Lion's Arch. Those are 3 big moments. That's cool. So I'll just click and head on in. I think someone just waved at me there as well. Oh, we just had a donation as well. I have no idea what that currency is, but a 500 ISK. Thanks very much, Ari. That's really nice of you. Here's to you in any future WP projects. Yeah, thank you very much. I hope to get more stuff going very soon. To be honest, since I kicked this up, I've been delaying like mad again. I don't know. But thank you very, very much. Okay, so where are we? We're 7 out of 12 sectors recaptured already. So it looks like I've missed the majority of this. Well, that's interesting. I got the waypoint back. I already have all the other ones, but I collected this one. That's weird to think that was a waypoint that List never had before. Also, it's a little bit loud. I don't want the game combat drowning everything out. Oh, I'll tell you what it probably is. Oh no, I was going to say I turned the effects volumes up because of a cutscene yesterday, but no. Okay, so once again, I think the map is basically the same as it was before. The difference is now the events that we'll find and things that are going on are going to be different. And yeah, okay, whoa, we have a whole circuit. I don't know in terms of like the re-implementation what they've done for like loot incentive and rewards for people. It's funny, this is the first time we've experienced the flame dip that tends to come from being in Zergs. I'm actually going to linger and fire a bit more just to get my overloads and stuff going, build as much might and then splash as much out. What I'd really like is as many people as possible to get a lot of might. But I don't know, it's my impression at the moment is the balance is such that you pretty much are going to have it all the time. Group effort, thank you. Standard Citizens Rescue Bag. So I think we're just recapturing sectors and we've missed a few, but hopefully it's not that bad. And in fact, we can see you've got the World versus World Territories map UI here. I don't know if this was here in the previous release, was it? The, you know, the segments? It's quite cool because it seems to represent, each one represents a different area. That guy's clearly auto-ran down that bridge and then fell. Might have been looking at the map just like I was. It looks like the Lion's Gate is a region, the Fort Mariner, the Blood Coast Ward. I wouldn't be surprised if these boundaries are exactly the Unfog boundaries. Let's take the Far Shore Ward. Yeah, so I hope you guys have all been having a good day. For me, you know, a lot of these videos I've been sort of waking up in the morning and just going for. Today I've sort of done a bit more stuff before getting here. I actually just ate lunch. And I fully expect to be in a food coma because it was a huge lunch. I ate. It was also like a really childish lunch. I just ate, okay, a packet of pickled onion Monster Munch. I think they're called pickled onion. But basic normal Monster Munch, okay. Now that's like kid food to me. I also had an egg sandwich, and I had a slice of a like a chocolate roll thing. And I'm feeling very satisfied right now. But as soon as that starts digesting away, I'm gonna get real sleepy real quick. So we'll get the video in the middle, and it'll work perfectly, right? Haven't really done too much else since the previous part. Last night I did watch Event Horizon from 1997 with some friends. I don't know, it's kind of, I guess, sort of similar to Alien and all that, which we also watched recently, so I think we're just in the mood for it. it's not a good movie. It's a movie that just gets worse and worse and worse as it goes along. I think people are interested in it because it has like an Easter egg in it that essentially connects it to Warhammer 40k, which is so weird because you watch that film, you know, it's like a Lawrence Fishburne film. It's not ostensibly got anything to do with 40k, but you look at this little thing and it's like it's connected. And that's quite interesting. Man, some of the sound effects are so loud. I suppose they might be overpowering my voice, so anyone in the live chat wants to let me know that, I will turn things down a bit more. But yeah, it's a cool idea for a story. It's some people make a faster than light, like drive, right? So that they can go to other solar systems, blah blah blah. They call it a gravity drive, and the idea is they do that thing. I'm sure everyone's seen it a million times. I think when I first saw it, funnily enough, was on YouTube with a sciencey channel. But they say, "How'd you go faster than light?" And they get a piece of paper, and they say, "We don't. We warp space." And they say, "How do you get from point A to point B?" And there's 2 dots on a piece of paper, and they just fold it together, and it's like, "Oh, look, see, we didn't go faster than light. We just moved the points in space together." Ooh, you know, and it's kind of novel. Anyway, so they build this faster than light engine in this ship called the Event Horizon. And it executes the drive. It's all some big secret government project, and then just disappears, and no one knows where it went. And then like years and years and years later, it's funny because this movie came out in 1997, and it's set in 2015. Some of this stuff, like, ooh, that's so far in the future. We're gonna have like spaceships and. You know, we're going to be doing all kinds of stuff at this point, and we're going to have this gravity drive and whatever. And it's like 2015. I mean, really, it's a weird thing to watch that film. Anyway, the years later, the ship suddenly appears in orbit of Neptune, and it's like, what the fuck? Where's the crew? What's going on? What happened with the ship? They go there, and then it's like a horror film, and it's like, oh, they broke into another dimension, blah blah blah. And you know, it's a cool concept. I do like the concept for the movie, but it's very cheesy, and you know, it's not great. It's fun for just some mindless entertainment, let me put it that way. Man, I should just waypoint. Oh, these are all emergency waypoints, are they? Oh, well, I missed that sector too. You know, as far as... Oh, here we go. The Assault Knights are coming. As far as we've missed sector reclamation, I don't actually think we've missed anything that important about the instance. So you reclaim all the sectors, and now that that's done, there's going to be 3 bosses. A green boss, a blue boss, a red boss. They're going to attack you in 40 seconds, so just pick one of the markers and go to it. It's amazing how well I remember this. And as far as I remember, you just kill these guys and then you're allowed up onto the Breachmaker. I don't want to phrase it in such a way that it sounds like this is unimpressive or whatever, because it was very cool at the time. Here you go, check it out. Prototype Vermilion. And he's red attuned. And we've got Ellen Keel with us. So I guess that might be a bit of dialogue you can catch at each guy. Oh, Helachon too. Greetings. How long have I got to read this? 10 seconds? We're not going to have enough time. This looks like the same dialogue as we saw in the camp. When we clear the path, go make Scarlet suffer for what she did. Okay, we'll do. Alright, I don't remember what the attunement thing is for what it's worth. I think it's just that when we kill this guy, we'll be red attuned, and therefore in the next phase up on the Breachmaker,
kill count activated.
That defines what we do, I think, maybe? We'll have to see. I wish I put my Signal Fire back on. We get some of the best music here as well. Get lots of mic for everyone there. Does not feel good having to auto in Earth there, doesn't it? Another sand scroll. No break bars or anything to deal with so far. I don't know how sophisticated I would want an open world event here to be. Well, in all reality, I'd want it to be really sophisticated. I'd want it to be all fun gameplay because the core game has taught you very well, you know, lots of cool mechanics and stuff. And at the end of the day, this is post-personal story level 80 stuff. But, you know, I wouldn't get my hopes too high. Once again, find myself dreaming of a Guild Wars 2.0, you know, or a 3.0 patch or whatever. Alright, we have a break bar here. Can't really do anything else, I'm afraid. Oh, that doesn't look good. I'm guessing we failed with that break bar, so that's why that ability came up. That was an absurdly well telegraphed tell. It's very rare in Guild Wars for it to be so obvious, I mean, Christ. And I had a ton of time to get out too.
I'm the law around here, and the law is stretched pretty thin.
Damn, what a one-liner. Damn, what hit 6k there in Earth? That outer ring donut seems kind of pointless. Like, who's going to get caught in that? That's like 600 range, right? And weapons don't really fall into that space. You're going to be at 900 and outrange it, 1200, 1500 outrange it, or you're going to be on the inside. It's not to say nothing is 600, but, you know, the standard... Like, who's in that danger zone? That's like the sweet spot for not mattering. That's only going to matter if it combos with other stuff. Oh, maybe that's the thing, because there are other bosses coming up, right? I think they combine them together, don't they? How are we doing compared to the others? We're Vermilion. We're second best. I love that, by the way. Arsenite? What a cool name. Oh, break bar. I'm sorry, team. I could have done better there again. What I could do is load up my emo bit earlier, because I don't think... Well, no, it was probably sticking on there. I don't know. Air Elemental, I guess. Summoned Air Elemental. Put a bit more on... I don't honestly remember the state of the game in terms of consumables right now. In an instance like this, can you use, like, rocks and planks and shit? There's a small chance this actually has some in our inventory as well. I don't know for sure. You know, probably the reason why we are behind Arsenite is because they've broken bars and we haven't. It just counts for so much, you know. I'll be ready this next time because we do have a summon. Oh, look at that ability. Oh, I got caught that time. That might not be doing what I thought it was doing. You know, I like the new telegraphs on, like, skill oh, here we go. Skill highlighting on, you know, outlines when it's a combo field. Come on, everyone. There we go. Oh, no. Oh, I honestly thought it broke. What's this? It says it's stunned, and it says it's exposed. We got it, and it flew up anyway. That's bullshit. Hello? So you can't actually interrupt the animation, but you can apply the pressure. Anyway, yeah, I like the skill highlighting because it's making me press sand scroll that little bit quicker and that little bit more routinely. And it's not even that I'm looking for the blast. It's just kind of coincidentally nice. I shouldn't have swapped. What I'm trying to do here is stick in fire just a little bit after the overload's over so that I can rebuild my 10 might and then pulse it out again.
Entering standby mode.
Lots of little daisies coming here. I'm not going to have such a contribution this next time. There it is. We have to wait on our cooldowns, unfortunately. Alright, I'm getting out of that shit. What did I just crack him for 8k? Actually, this is kind of cool. It's like break the bar, avoid the mechanic, then DPS. Just like you have to do both things, but there is a reward. Oh, I see. It has some kind of massive, like, frontal cone. How are we doing compared to everyone else? We're on par with Indigo, and Arsenite is still slightly ahead. I don't know if this is like Triple Trouble, by the way, and you have to kill them all at the same time. I hope not. I'm just going to try and stand behind it. Yeah, maybe it stay inside the donut and make sure it's facing away, something like that. Sorry to anyone in the live chat right now. I really can't easily look while fighting. I can catch up on the messages in just a second. Nah, that's not gonna go. I mean, I suppose we could just keep doing damage. Oh, interesting. So be in or out? Bit unnecessary. Alright, cool. Down it goes. Oh, and that's the story instance complete. Okay. It's really interesting having personal story instances like this where people can kind of skip ahead. Hold on, before I go into... So yeah, there's portals now, which will take us into the Breachmaker itself. But is there any dialogue I can speak to people? What about the chest, right? There's a chest in the center of the map. Should I go grab that? Before I go in the portal? I'm gonna go see it. Ultimate Citizen's Rescue Bag. Coffer of the Lion's Champion. Oh, that's just retreat to Lion's Arch. Oh, I guess I've technically already opened this, even though it's marked on my map. Okay, so... Oh, I guess so this last bit... Am I going to get kicked out of this map? I guess I won't, because it says... Oh, retreat to Eye of the North! That's not right! If I'm a new player doing this for the first time, I should not be retreating to not Eye of the North here. Maybe it's because Lissa's beat... Do you think it's been sophisticated enough that it knows that I've gone all the way out there? If I was on a truly new player, would this portal not be here? But that's cool. That must mean that there's an actual repeatable entrance up at Eye of the North for this now, which is interesting. Because it's interesting in a lot of ways. First, it's just good, but it also kind of suggests they'll... Even though we're in End of Dragons here, they are going to keep using that as a sort of central hub. You know, a new aerodrome, if you will. Alright, so battle on the Breachmaker. That's the next thing. Also, let me have a look at chat here. How's the state of Guild Wars 2 at the moment? I'm really not someone that can tell you that well because I'm very disconnected from the community. I'm very disconnected from the news. I'm playing very, very casually, very idly. It's not real WoodenPotatoes you're listening to here. It's a very different shell. It's a shell of a man. Breaking the bar inverts the AoE. It's an important mechanic in the new strike. Wait, so I didn't even know there was a strike. Wait, is this a strike? This thing here at the end? Alright, let's just go on in. Oh, the portal had a floating chest above it, and it would have just ported me to the chest. Oh, I see.
Moving into position. Turbo sparks within expected range. Increasing sonic resonance.
Oh my god, this is weird. I've never had this experience before. Back in the day, if I remember rightly, this was also a huge Zerg encounter. So you didn't really get this beautiful cinematic moment to stop and breathe. You didn't get... You couldn't really see all your allies with you. It was just huge amounts of players everywhere.
Molten troops, hear me. The southern sector is faltering. Don't let me down.
I assume this is the strike. That's very cool. I didn't know that they'd added one. And look how cool that is, by the way. That's actual Lion's Arch down there. So we're genuinely above it, and it's interesting to think that if you had like a fly hack or something, and you were in this lower map, you could fly up and you would find this exact thing. Or, you know, you broke out of the map, logged out, logged in, if that was possible, or whatever. So does everyone have dialogue?
I can't hear myself think. 3.14159. Yes, lovely.
Okay, so she's just talking to herself, and she's got regular dialogue. That's cool. I've lost count of how many enemies I've killed here. Do you know? Oh, darn, let's just start again and double it when I tell the tale.
I must stay focused. Prime gate breached. Now I'm mad.
This seems very Lord of the Ringsy, right? We're almost done. We're so close to Scarlet. That we are. I don't see any other way up to her little den. But let's hope we can take out whatever trap she's got set for us. We made it up here. Okay. Survey the landscape and look for clues to advancement. I think I see Scarlet up there by the screens. Yeah, I see her. Can't be sure it's actually her until we see her bleed, though. Who knows? Could be another one of those high-heeled automatons. We'll take her down regardless. Frostbite will not
How pleasant
talk.
to see you.
How pleasant, Casimir. Will this never end? I hear the screams of the dead and dying. They're ringing in my ears.
We're getting so close to Scarlet herself.
Are we? I feel like I'm in one of those dreams where you run and run, but you get no closer. She's cloaked in illusion, I sense it.
These lines had a lot more impact back in the day when people had been waiting a year for this. And, you know, every little patch felt too small and the next one was too far away. Even on a 2-weekly schedule, you know, people were not satisfied, satiated. You know, their appetite was still huge for more story. So it was like, finally to be here felt awesome.
You're my lucky charm.
I mean, the line still works, obviously, but when it's just 5 quick little chapters, it's got a different kick to it. You're determined to fight all the way to Scarlet, right? Absolutely. And Keel's here. This is good, but no Magnus. When we clear the path, go make Scarlet suffer for what she did to Lion's Arch. Ashford's murder, the destruction, everything. You're not coming with? I won't lie, I'd love to chop Scarlet's crazy head off her shoulders, but the city isn't secure. I'll stay behind, make sure nothing follows behind you. Thanks, Captain. Scarlet's not getting away this time. Okay, and Helitron, scanning, nominal life signs, non-hostile, biopatterns. Have you gathered at this location to deactivate Scarlet? Deactivate. I am. What about you? This unit's a volunteer health operative, repairing Line Guard and other resistance during the anti-Scarlet operation. If I remember rightly, the original release, when this was a big Zerg event, you could catch Helitron. Helitron would actually revive people, like players. If you went downstate, there was a chance Helitron would run over and pick you up. Or maybe he picked you up from defeated. I can't remember, but I'm sure there was a thing about that. You're a volunteer, correct. This unit wants to see Scarlet deactivated, but lacks combat protocols. Is this all the same? I think it is all the same. Okay, as what we read in the previous part, just to be clear, if you guys missed that. Yeah, I like this this map, this arena. This here, I just want to take a second and breathe and say, you know, for years I've wanted Lines Season 1 back. And this is one of the things that was always in the forefront of my mind, always. Where it was like, you know, that was areas of the world you could go to with interesting visuals. There was like, you know, in retrospect, meaningful story. And it's just all completely eliminated, you know. This isn't like the Crown doing some content in the Crown Pavilion, right? Which we're all familiar with because of the festival or whatever. This is a totally special, different thing. And it feels really cool to be standing here, knowing it's permanent in the game now.
No time for tricks or traps. It's time for you pests to just die. Pulling out all the stops in 3, 2, 1. Behold the best that Holomancy can provide, armed with an energy cannon to match. Warm up the generator. Let loose the pain.
Oh my god. This gun she has, by the way, has one of the best sound effects on a rifle in the game. It's really good. And it was very expensive for years. Also, because after this... Wait, what? What hit me? Surely that was the damage over there. Oh, there must be something going on with the thing. I'm trying to give you trivia, and I need to learn how the fight works. Thank God for my Jade bot, I have to say. How does this work exactly? Well, there you go. Helitron's down and reviving someone. How long do these AoEs last? And how much damage do they do? Okay, I'm going to blue attune, because, like, why not? Oh, hold on. Weak to prime light. Oh, is prime light, I need all 3 colours, and then I'll go prime. Is that the idea? 2. Oh, wow, look how much detail is on this visual above my head. Ready? It's fully animated. Oh, wait, hold on. It's not doing anything now. Am I already prime light? It's interesting seeing the term prime light there, by the way. Long before hollow. Alright, well, I can hurt her. I guess very simple idea of just walk into the 3 colours. What I'm really insecure about right now is I have no idea why I took all that damage a second ago. Maybe, was I in this? Was this a lingering field that lasted forever? If I step back in? No. I still didn't put on my signet. She's invulnerable again now, so I guess I've got to get back into that. It's interesting seeing fights like this because there's a certain spectacle to having everyone run around or whatever when this is a big Zerg fight. But when it's a solo fight, you sort of lose some of the reasoning why the mechanics are what they are.
Too useful. Increase subroutine prioritization on energy preservation.
She's doing it forwards and back.
Ooh, did I scare you? I should have. I am greater than the sum of my parts.
These lasers look so weird. They're like multicolored. Is that? Oh, we already did. Oh yeah, okay, now they split. So I think we have to attune green to kill green,
Not
right?
allowed. You will be punished 3 times over. Dynamics. Statics. No, this will not do. Rerouting power from drilling to increase capacity for multitasking.
Yeah, it's weird that you have,
Energy expulsion continues to be an issue. Setting all emissions to scramble mode.
it's weird you have the puddle that you need next to the thing that's vulnerable to it. Wouldn't you have mixed it up? This is so weird. Look at this. I have no memory of any of this. These visuals are very different to what you normally see in Guild Wars. Okay, I'm red, I guess, so we'll go to the red. I guess the green one we just thought was toxic themed, by the way. I saw like toxic spores coming up from the ground. This guy's molten themed. The other one's Aether Blade themed. Shockwave. Oh yeah, look, and now there's a green thing next to the red guy. Oh wait, is the green guy back? No, is it regenerating? No, but it looks like it is. I wonder if back when this was a big map, these had to be killed at the same time, like Triple Trouble. Okay, now we'll attune blue. That was kind of cool. Good job, Rux. Yeah, I don't know. This is really good. One little criticism I will say. It all feels very disjointed. You know, if I do end up doing a Living World Season 1 review, I think that'll be my main takeaway here.
Enough! No light energy, no more reloading, no spent cases, no distractions. Fire everything so I can get back to work.
So is the...
Dark energy is all I need. Now it's time to die.
So hold on, if there's a strike version of this, is there a strike CM version? I guess down with Bram. No?
Have I mentioned how much I love explosives?
Holy shit, this is cool. This is really cool. There's a lot going on here. Okay, wait. Where am I safe? Where am I not? These bubbles push me away. Is it just kill all the ads quickly? I've lost my cursor. Micro Prime holograms. I love the names of all these things. Oh shit, that orbital laser looks cool as well. It's weird to remember how much Hollow stuff was involved with Scarlet, you know? It would have been nice if in Path of Fire they'd sort of nodded to that a little bit. I don't know, maybe I just need to hit her. Unless removed, a massive attack will be unleashed. But how do you want me to remove it? With killing the little guys? Let's keep an eye on it, right? Let's kill a little guy. Might be about to wipe here. She still has 14 stacks. I'm sure someone is desperately trying to get my attention in the live chat here. But I can't see it. In the way I've got my windows set up right now, I really can't. I messed with my monitors the other day. Like with setting up a standing desk. I was really messing with my monitors, so I only have 2 basically. And I don't have a dedicated thing to just look at chat all the time right now. I'm sorry, everyone. That you're in the same situation as all the other video watchers later.
Have I mentioned how much I love explosives?
Okay, I've got a personal bomb. Dodge, get rid of it. Okay. I mean, the Micro Prime holograms aren't coming back, so maybe it is just a matter of killable. I'm sort of faffing about here, trying to avoid the AoEs. There are a lot of them. And you can't fault the music. It is the best music of Season 1. Well, I suppose you can fault it if you wanted her to have, you know, a different thing here. Yeah, did I finish that thought? If there's a strike, does that mean there's a CM strike? Or would that be something they do a little bit later? This again, this phase, I imagine, in the original timeline ended instantly because people would just blow all the shit up. These fields don't really do much damage. These ones just look like they pulse days on you, which really isn't that bad. Okay, last one. Okay, is she vulnerable? She's invulnerable. Oh. Oh, and that was hurting her in some way? Oh, that was cool to see kill there.
I didn't account for too many factors. The drilling.
Hey, come back! I'm not done with you yet.
Right behind you. Don't look back.
Man, this is one of those scenes.
We're taking Lion's Arch back. This city has friends, you dummies. You can't have it.
I'm telling you guys, there was no
Not
good
bad,
footage of
Bogdan.
this.
You fight well for a golem.
Negative. I am not programmed for combat.
Then what are you doing up here?
2 directives. Scarlet must be stopped. I must prove I am not aligned with that criminal.
Considering your actions today, you're clear in my eyes.
Processing. Most difficult directive achieved. Is this what joy feels like?
Okay, so people in the live chat, there will be a CM strike, but a few weeks later. That's awesome. That's really cool. Every time you're wondering what to do, I'm screaming at you to look in the upper right corner. It almost says exactly what to do. You realise I do look at it constantly as well. You realise that every time you see it pop up, which is very frequently, I'm specifically looking at that. You don't need to scream. That's what I'm doing. And it's not as clear as you think it is. Also, you know, sometimes I'm just being conversational and wondering out loud. You don't have to be so intense about it. The strikes are of the Watch Knight Triumvirate, not the Breachmaker. Oh, so they're not this thing here. They're the downstairs thing, are they? That's weird, because this feels like it has a very strike-like quality, you know? Alright, let's go downstairs. Scarlet's End. This is definitely it. We're going to get a really good cutscene here as well, so... And it's, well, it's sort of in 2 parts. There's some in-engine stuff, and then there's one that you could data mine out for years, which was pretty nice. You must scream into the void, yeah. You know, I've got to be totally honest, I can't remember how many times I did this in the past. I may have only ever done it once. Look at what an interesting room this is, with all of these...
Good. We're all here.
Yeah, just in time, too. Scarlet's wounded.
Be careful. Just because she's down doesn't mean she's out.
All together then?
All together. Let's finish this for good.
Why don't you lead the way? We'll be right behind you.
I like how Frostbite was the one with the marker over his head. Some of these guys seem to have stuff to say, but they actually don't. Let me have a look up here. I'm just quite interested. I think if I remember rightly, you do run out of this, don't you, later? Don't we actually physically leave? Man, this is honestly such a detailed instance. It's crazy to see the Breachmaker blades down there as well. You know, it would have been really fun if there was another version of this where she was digging down a lot already, and instead of being in the sky at this point, it was all soil and like earth we could see, you know, ripping up around us as we were descending, and it puts a bit of urgency on this fight.
Rocks. Looks like the stone warband's within your grasp.
As is glory for you, Bram. We'll do this together.
Jory, I have a bad feeling about...
Don't worry. I've arrested plenty of scum like her.
This platform is way smaller than I remember.
Just look at you. All you heroes. And here, at the center, little old me. Aren't you even curious about why I did it? All this chaos and destruction?
It doesn't matter now. You're done.
You failed.
Wrong. Tyria will bow before a new master.
No. We'll stand together against any enemy.
Yeah, we're Tyrians. And we don't like getting pushed around.
So, what now? You big, strong heroes going to take me to jail?
Something like that.
Jory, be careful.
I'll do something, all right. I'll end this for good.
That's it. Come and get me, if you dare.
They don't really explain how she does that, right? I guess the idea is it's just a device of some sort.
Bram, talk to me. Your leg.
It's broken. I know. I'll be okay. Go, get her.
What? Go? No, I can't leave you here like this. It's too dangerous. We have to get you out of here.
Go, Rox. It's your chance to get in the warband. You have to.
Oh.
I don't have to do anything. I'm not leaving you alone in such a vulnerable position.
Jory? Jory!
Where's the music?
Oh, sweet Duena, help her. She's not... You monster!
Oh yeah, this was definitely a good bit with
Get back!
Casimir going nuts.
My drill! Mine!
So, if I could just stand here while Casimir gets beaten up here a bit. Bit of fun trivia for you all.
Take you down with me if I have to!
This is I like seeing her on the ground throwing the grenades all over the place. Yeah, while we watch Casimir getting ragdolled around, a bit of interesting trivia. In
I won't let you spoil it!
a few weeks before this patch came out, there was a data mine
Stop stopping me!
in which the story was spoiled and what they were going to do, because they weren't like encrypting the dialogue. Nowadays they encrypt dialogue, so you can't do it.
I hate you!
But there was a data mine
Hate you!
which revealed Marjorie was to die in this story step. I might be misremembering here, and anyone is more than welcome to correct me. But I believe it was that Marjorie was going to die here. And you'd have this badass moment for Casimir or whatever. But I basically believe that here is when she'd die.
I will!
Um,
I'll keep her occupied. You get in there and do what needs to be done.
but after the data mined,
I'm over here!
I guess the devs thought it'd been spoiled or ruined.
Princess is. I'll kill every last one of you.
I'm over here.
You can't fool me. I've seen the other side of the eternal alchemy.
You couldn't hit a city gate.
Now you're making me angry.
So,
What's the matter, Kiara?
all right, I can't do it. I can't deliver trivia. That's a good line. No, that's not my name.
Kiara.
Calling me that. It's not my name.
Her shield drops when she attacks. Make it count. End this now.
No, I'm gonna sit here and just drain as much dialogue as possible. That Kiara bit's
Here
good,
I am.
but it is also just basically
I'm over here. Look.
Harry Potter calling Voldemort Tom Riddle.
No, I'm over here.
I mean, I don't know if that's expressly what they were spoofing there. Well, not spoofing, but yeah. So anyway, basically Marjorie was. I think it's cleared out now. So Marjorie was gonna die. The data mine came out, and then they changed the story at the last moment so that it didn't happen. And I don't know whether it was ever confirmed by any writer or head at the studio or anything. Whether this is really what they did, but it does look like because they had been saying, and if you basically look through season 1, it kind of feels right for Marjorie to die here, and it makes Casimir quite interesting and pushes her on and all this kind of stuff. But once it had been spoiled in air quotes, they didn't like it anymore. And I don't know whether they've ever confirmed that that's really exactly what happened. They might have. If it is, I think it's a really bad idea. You know, a good story is a good story. Whether it's been spoiled in air quotes, whether it's been guessed ahead, whether, you know, a selection of the community is figured out early, through even some really gross stuff like data mining, I think the story should still stand as what you were originally trying to do. And I kind of don't like the idea of just the very last moment. It's like, oh no, fuck it, let's change it. You know, it feels too flexible, too malleable, too directionless, you know. So anyway, a lot of stuff changed. But this also has their kiss, doesn't it? So I can't remember. Maybe they were supposed to kiss before she dies? Maybe it was like a death kiss or something? I don't know. Anyone is welcome to talk about it or like drop a wall of text in the comments clarifying what the hell I'm going on about it. So yeah, alright, let's bring the dialogue back. It's a good scene here. Sorry I talked over it. Sort of ruined it a bit.
Here I am.
There you go. So she attacks. Wait, what?
I'm over here. No, I'm over here.
Am I meant to DPS her or stomp her?
You couldn't hit a city gate.
So there's no time to stomp. I remember stomping her here.
This isn't how I was supposed to go.
Oh, okay. So I had to hit her to... Oh, man, that was some intense Drake's breath right there. Oh, what? It's still... What? Oh, okay, hold on. I think the mechanic is she throws the grenade. I'm supposed to hit her in the window.
Here I am.
Like this.
This isn't how I was
And now I have another window to finish.
You fools!
Dude, I had a good random finisher proc there.
Jory? Oh, gods. Are you okay? Oh.
Okay, before we get through all that melodrama, let's see here. Didn't you guys say there's a recording in here or something? At the back of her room? I love the sound effects here. Also, is this translatable? I assume it is. It looks a lot like the text you find on the tablets. Oh no, it doesn't. In the Priory, I was going to say. Actually, it looks a bit more like a Surin, doesn't it? Oh, the recordings afterwards, people are saying. Okay. Yeah, I think the Mega Laser was good. It was a good finisher. It was much better than getting a golden cow fall on it or whatever, you know. But, I mean, look at this, though. There's a whole mocapped cutscene and stuff here. So they clearly didn't U-turn that late in the day. You don't just vomit this out, right? This would have taken them ages. That music was weird and cut weirdly.
Oh, Jory, I thought you were... I thought...
Hush, love. I'm okay. Rox works in battlefield magic on me. It's okay, honey. I'm going to be okay.
Guess it's a good thing you stayed behind, huh?
Definitely a good thing, my friend. Definitely a good thing. All right, hero. That's enough cuddling for now. You better report this to Magnus. I bet everyone on the ground could use some good news. Huh? What the...
Here we go. This is the best bit of the patch.
Yuck spit. We need to retreat. Whole place is coming down. Hurry!
Wow, how trolly. There's a hidden thing here after it very clearly suggests the whole place is about to blow up. Yeah, so there you go. I remember being so excited about Season 2 and everything that would come because it just felt like it was going to be a whole new era. We were back to the Elder Dragons. It was going to be fantastic. And it's so good to have this scene in here now. Season 2 does not feel so abrupt or weird, which is very good. Girl Painting said, personally, I like the Marjorie change. We'd had enough character deaths in the personal story already, and having a character survive for once was a nice change of pace. I mean, yeah, I don't think it really matters that much when you really get down to it. I think what I prefer to see is I prefer to see characters get injured, but like on the long term. Like Logan in the Blighting pod, I would have liked to see real consequences from that, long-term consequences. Bram hurts his leg here, but kind of gets over it quite quickly. Like real injury, maiming, dismemberment, stuff like that. I think that's actually a lot more tragic and lets you continue to get stuff out of the character even afterwards. Death is really only good if you have a great character to pick up the torch and it's like that death affected them. In this case, that would have been Casimir, and I think that would have been fine. But the other thing that full-on death does do is it's really good for laying down the establishment of stakes. You kill Let's say they did a really good job and made people love Destiny's Edge 2.0. They did not do a good job, all right? I think that's really fair to say. The Guild Wars community that remains has a sort of inherent bias for people who are able to stomach this storyline and stick with it through the years, okay? So they will naturally, and you know, they're fans of the game, so there's going to be a natural bias to be overly positive about this stuff. But the truth is, I think, in all honesty, they didn't write very great characters here. To a lot of people, they're still not likable years later. You know, a lot of that's first impressions and people haven't given them a good shot or whatever. But imagine that they did write these characters really well, and then you have them, and you in such a way that you've really connected with them. And then when Marjorie dies, you're like, oh shit. okay, I don't want to see this person get hurt. I don't want to see this person get injured. I don't want to lose this character. But an elder dragon just awoke. You know, that really connects you with Tyria in a way, and the upcoming story, and the fear of the dragon and the might of the dragon in a much more profound way than what they've done here would have done. You know, because all they did here was show, oh, everyone's okay. Also, I disagree that we saw enough death in the personal story. The only characters we saw die in the personal story were pretty, like, hand-wavy and shortly handled. The only one that's not that situation is the Mentor, but even the Mentor is 3 characters in one. You know, it's Tibble, and it's Zirin, and it's Forgul, so... You know, I don't agree with you. I really don't. Also, it had been a whole year since the end of the personal story. Not even a year and a half. Coming up on 2 years since people had played that and experienced that. So, no, Again, I don't think it really matters that much whether Marjorie died here or not, but I do think it was a powerful thing, and I think if it was their original idea, they should have just ran with it. But there is that theory that it changed because of the data mine and the spoiler. But again, I don't know, man. I mean, this is all very well... Well, it's clearly had a lot of energy in its production, right? So that you don't just whip that out of nowhere. So maybe it always was the plan. I just can't remember what quotes there were around the time. So Scarlet's down, and we get some interactables, I guess. The energy probe map. Well, so is this all new? The map of Tyria has this map of Tyria has locations of Scarlet's probes plotted all over it. Look for a way to shut down the drill. There's no obvious way to shut down the drill. Someone with more engineering knowledge will have to figure it out. If I was an engineer, would I have had a chance to fiddle around there? One of the displays shows a set of pulsing lines that converge on the spot directly below the drill. They must be the ley lines that Timey mentioned. Marionette control panel. This set of controls looks specifically tailored to the marionette weapon. It may be that Scarlet controlled the weapon test from this very location. Examine the drill blueprints lying nearby. The drill can only be cut into... Sorry, the drill can only cut into, not channel anything out of the ground. Scarlet intended only to disrupt the ley lines, not tap the energy. This is a really important line here. I hope a lot of people go and read that one. So, it's this, I guess. Here we go. Do I have dialogue on? I do. Oh, this might be a thing where I have to press F multiple times.
There's nothing else I can do. Jenna didn't listen. Trin. What disappointment. We were born to call you Mother. The others look to you for protection, guidance. They follow you like livestock. Where's my guidance? With my neatly paved path to enlightenment. There is no path. My cards were dealt in blood. My mind torn open. I only have one option. And the earth will crumble and crack beneath it.
Honestly, I'm a bit disappointed by that. It's like I said in the previous parts, you know, we get it. Like Scarlet's mad rambling. I would have hoped that the very last one would have something really pointed and new to talk about or to display. You know, maybe we could have really heard her say the word Morgemoth here or something. I don't know. That's a whole tangled mess as well that they've resolved in other ways. Yeah, I don't know. The Jenna line's interesting. It's like Scarlet thinks she sincerely went to Jenna about the threat of the dragon, but that's not what she did, is it really? Was that the only one here? Let's have a look here. Something about the Aether Blade retreat. BFA, Investigative Study 5, Dead End Celebration, Honoured Guests, Honoured Guests. Oh my god, we've still got another 2 instances at least to do. I'm very impressed by the length, I gotta say. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that's it then. So let's get on out. Also, yeah, Deadly says, also imagine the outrage of having the new lesbian couple killed off so quickly. Yeah, I forgot about that. That apparently was a thing as well. I guess it's a... I don't know, some stereotype or something that happens in a lot of media. To be honest, I'm well out of my ballpark on this. That's not something I'm really aware of or ever would have been offended by or whatever. And so I don't really know whether I have a horse in that race. To me, it seems like a really stupid reason to change the story, but again, I don't know. Also, it's like they're not the only gay couple in this game. There's actually loads of them, and even season 1 we've passed through multiple. What? Because they're the main characters, they get this special immunity, you know? It's not like those two are the only tokenist, you know, what's the word? It's not like they're the only token gay couple in this game. There's actually quite a lot of representation for different gay characters in this game. So, what, should they all be immune? I don't know. It's definitely the main character side of it, though, more than anything else. Most other people you meet are sort of incidental, aren't they? Yeah, bury your gays trope. It's really bad. I mean, I really don't know how bad that is or what that's about, but I do remember, yeah, people were talking about that once upon a time. Okay, another letter. Party invitation. Dear Liz, please join us at the Dead End Bar in Divinity's Reach for a celebration of our victory over Scarlet. We'd really love it if you could attend. Rox and Bram have already sent an RSVP in the form of their bottle of Char whiskey and a keg of Norn beer. You don't have to bring anything but your smile. Aww. Though you'll probably want to wear a bit more than that. Okay. So let's get out of here. A little bit unfortunate that this map doesn't have layers for us. I'm going to click this retreat to either north, and, well, it's just going to take me to either north, isn't it? So what happens? Does anyone know if I'm a new character playing through season 1? What happens here? Do I just get ported to either north randomly? Maybe that's all right if you're also a returning Guild Wars 1 player, because you'd know about the place. But I mean, who the hell in 2022 is playing this for the first time, has never progressed any further, doesn't know about the Icebrood Saga spoilers, and yet is also a returning Guild Wars 1 player? You know, I would guess that there's no one. I would guess that there's absolutely no one in that camp. Maybe at some point, one guy over the next half a decade will be in that camp. But the odds are very low.
Going to be a brave hero.
Most people who could potentially be in that camp are probably in the unfortunate position of not being able to play games anymore because, you know, they've passed away or whatever, you know. That gaming is literally just not a part of their life anymore. Not giving your gay couple good writing is a worse fate. I mean, yeah, to me, I kind of have this... I sort of try to not get hung up on stuff like that as much as possible, and just, like, my first duty would always be to whatever the story is you think is the best story. And, you know, if you had that inclination in the first case, there was clearly some grounded, real reasoning for it, you know. And don't be, you know, battered away by external stuff like that. But I don't know, that might be the totally wrong philosophy. You know a Guild Wars 1 veteran who started Guild Wars 2 like a year ago? Okay, that's fine. That's part of the criteria. But the other parts are they don't know anything about how the rest of the story goes and all that kind of stuff. Also, what does that mean, veteran? You know, it's easy to say, you know, oh, did you know that when I was 12 years old, I installed Nightfall and played it for 1 week? That makes me a veteran, right, guys? You know, it's like, how do we define this?
Look who's here.
Greetings, my friend.
We're celebrating Scarlet's demise. It's good you could make it. Hey, relax, Bram. Sit down. If you keep standing on that leg...
Better ease up on that leg, V.
Yeah, that's the drinking
right.
Belcher's bluff animation.
Is that why you make that bear noise every time you sit down?
That's just the spirit moving in me.
A toast to the hero of the hour and all.
Yay!
Oh, yeah. So, tell me, how did it feel to stomp the evil snot out of Scarlet?
It felt like a living world patch, man. It was like I was fighting, and I pressed F and got some dialogue, and then I pressed F and killed the big bad boss. Yeah, I remember as well. That was some totally undeserved criticism back in the day. I remember people saying it sucked that the Scarlet fight wasn't a fight, but it's like, come on. Obviously, the fight was the Prime Light bosses just outside, right? I think that's unfair. I think that last sequence, I'm sorry I was talking over it the whole time, with the grenades and stuff, was really good. I think it's perfectly cinematic. And it was fun, and it was up close, and it was personal, and Scarlet got a lot of time to talk, and Casimir got to be a badass for the first time, right? I don't think that Casimir's really been action entertaining at all in the season until there. So tell us, how did it feel when you finished Scarlet for good? But don't make me laugh, my ribs are still sore. Not as sweet as a kiss, wink. Well, that is a charming response, I like that. And these are so good, man. I want these back. I finally understood the meaning of Kabram. Well, that's not ferocious at all, that's a joke. Like peeling a dandelion and getting a whole root. I don't like any of these. Not even the tiniest part of me likes a single one of these options. I guess we'll go dignity, maybe.
Oh, no, you did not just.
Oh, I'm such an entertainer. I didn't even realise I was telling a joke there.
What's so funny?
Hey, who let the rabbit out
It's
of
me,
his
bitch.
cage?
I'm funny.
That's not funny.
Join us, Tiny. We're celebrating our victory over Scarlet. Would you like some juice?
I suppose we should celebrate while we still can.
Oh, she's a bit of a miser. I like Timey in this scene. That's right. If people are happy and she's dragging everyone down, therefore I like her.
Nothing.
Come on, kid. What are you talking about?
I like how grotty and shit this bar is, and yet it does
know,
kind of
don't
become
you?
our happy place.
Scarlet wasn't just fooling around.
You know something? Tell us.
Ooh.
I'm behaving.
Hey,
Hey. Don't hold anything back. We're all ears. Don't say that to an Asura. It's offensive. You know Scarlet better than any of us. After all, you killed her, so what's Timey talking about? Well, I think all of Tyria heard that dragon's cry. This is very clumsy. Is that what you think it was? A dragon? Oh, it would make so much sense to think that Scarlet was messing with the dragons. I don't believe it. I never considered it. I believe that was her plan all along. Her drill caused one of them to stir. Yeah, we heard it too. Which one do you think it was? Primordus, Krakatorik, Jormag? Do you think one is sleeping beneath Lion's Arch? No, I think Scarlet deserved the ley lines, knowing they feed the dragons. Okay, just a little bit more context here as well. It's easy to forget about this way down the timeline, but you got to think. I've always said that ArenaNet made a mistake here. Well, not always, okay? Not always. In the very, very earliest days, I was just enthusiastic about it. In retrospect, I think ArenaNet made a mistake here. And that is, Morgemoth was not just an Elder Dragon, it was a hidden dragon. It was a secret, it was a conspiracy dragon. It was deliberately hidden and, like, only teased at in Easter eggs, okay? And it was a really cool part of the story, and I can totally understand why immediately after launch, when they saw, you know, lore speculation videos and stuff going up where people had cracked the case, I can totally understand why they were like, alright, let's just do Morgemoth straight away. But I do think they should have held Morgemoth off. I think we should have done Jormag or Primordus. Well, no, not Primordus. Primordus always should have been the last. Or, you know, the Deep Sea Dragon or whatever. They should have done some other conventional dragon and then done Morgemoth. Oh, this reminds me. Ages back, I was working on a video script, which was an alternate timeline of telling the Guild Wars 2 story. Hey, I might go back to that. That was really fun. It was basically a fan fiction. Anyway, I really don't think they should have done Morgemoth first, because Morgemoth has, like, this extra point of intrigue, and it's actually even more powerful of a payoff the longer you wait before Morgemoth is finally confirmed. But here, what's happening in this conversation with Casimir is we're kind of like, we're rushing through both things at once. We're rushing through the revelation that there's a dragon active, which is story enough, and we're also rushing through, oh, this is a secret bonus dragon, right? I don't understand. The dragons consume magic. The ley lines are currents in an ocean of magic. I like how we're now an expert on this. And Scarlet threw a giant rock in that pool, sending ripples out to the dragon. It makes sense. You're brilliant. This Casimir line, if I remember rightly, the devs used to say this all the time. This was like their go-to metaphor to explain the ley line thing. There's a lot wonky about Season 1. Season 1 really could have done a lot more about just like learning about ley lines. I've been crafting this theory and assembling the pieces for a while now.
Much as I loathe to even entertain the idea, I do believe you're right.
And here we thought Scarlet was the worst of our problems.
I'm not afraid of no dragon.
Bram, I'll have to take you to the brand sometime. No single warrior can stand alone.
Oh, I like
against
that.
a
That
dragon.
line's good.
Fortunately, we have each other. What?
With you on our team, Squeak, how could we possibly lose?
And they do a good line and then another one that just makes me like cringe into my skin.
Who let let that bear in here.
Don't make me laugh.
Hey, that's my line.
We'd better feed that bear before it decides we're food.
I requested a roast chicken from the kitchen. We'll eat soon.
I like the thought that there are chefs and shit back there, other bartenders around that we don't know. Like, who's this guy? Let's learn about Mr. Bartender.
The Six watch over you.
Little Miss Margie.
Are you E?
Have you any idea how difficult you've been making my life? Mother never shuts up about you.
I told you never to call me that.
You told me lots of things, sis.
Sis? Jory, is this your sister?
Yes. Come on in, Belinda. Say hello to my friends.
It would be my pleasure.
This is a really important scene too for bridging
Hi,
the gap.
Marjorie's friends. You're the band that took out Scarlet. I'm honored to meet you all. Congratulations on killing Scarlet. That Sylvari was trouble with a capital T. So how are you? You're looking a little skinny.
Oh, gods, don't tell Mama that. Besides, look at you, getting fat in that cushy new Seraph post of yours.
Oh, I don't think she's fat at all.
Why, thank you. My sister's always been jealous of my voluptuous figure. She used to call me Big Belly.
Only because you called me Little Miss Margie. Like I was some snooty noble or something.
Oh,
You were snooty. Marjorie used to order me and all the other kids around, even though she was the youngest.
What's this about Mama fretting?
You know how she gets. And when she heard you'd been in the fight against Scarlet, well...
She sent you to check on me.
I'm to report back this evening. I can't stay long, my dear. I'm just here to count your limbs and listen to your heart. So, how is your heart?
Strong as ever. What do you think of Casimir?
She's beautiful and charming, but isn't she from a noble family?
She used to be. Her family lost its titles under tragic circumstances. She's one of us now. She works for me.
I see. Well, in that case, I wish you and her every happiness. I can see that you care deeply for her.
Yes, I do.
Congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Go away.
I heard you dealt the killing blow to Scarlet. You have my respect and gratitude.
All right. Okay. There were quite a few things that I wanted to talk about there as it was going along, but okay, hold on. Let me scroll back up here. Okay, the first thing I did want to say was that it's good to see Belinda in this scene. One of the big problems with season 2 is the fate of Belinda feels very rushed, and you don't really get any time to connect with her. So this scene is like crucial because it extends that window a bit. It gives you some more time to connect, to recognize who she is, to maybe, you know, form some kind of a bond, and then it feels more meaningful later. So this actually, as boring as all that dialogue is, and as easy as it is to tune out, all right, and I'm not vibing with at all, I have to be honest, at least it is very, very important as a scene, so I think it's pretty good.
We're safe here.
Margie told me a lot about you. She really respects you, you know. I appreciate you've got that you've got her back. She's always been such a loner. We have a good team, so you're a Seraph, huh? That's right. I'm posted at Fort Salma, but in a week they're sending me on a long expedition into the Brisbane wildlands. I came home to see my mother before we leave. That's a lot of adventure for a Seraph, isn't it? Yeah, it is, but we're after a group of black market traders who have been disrupting the economy here in the city. Our reporters say that's where they're headquartered. Safe journeys, then.
Goodbye, everyone. It was so nice to meet you all.
And there you see we're really, really nicely and seamlessly moving into Season 2 with that.
Did you get in trouble for roaming the camp?
No. Yes. Zojia gave me extra calculations as a punishment, and I never got to see Scarlet.
Sounds like Zojia cares about you.
No, she doesn't. She cares about her record. If I do well, it reflects positively on her as my college mentor.
I like that. Again.
So you don't like Zojia's college?
I was not designed to be in synergetics. I was designed for statics.
I don't know what that means.
It means I'd rather make
Bram's good,
stuff
man.
than talk about making stuff.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I don't know whether I can
Must be
speak.
nice
Yeah.
to have a sister.
Because I don't know what's happening. There might be another line. It might be a cutscene here. I'm very surprised to see. Oh, I like this. This is a nice little cutscene. We actually see the... It's very rare for Guild Wars 2 to have a camera like this, where we're in an interior and we cut to an exterior. Oh, and it just says to be continued at the bottom there. That's fascinating. So hold on, that's the original end. Am I now to believe that Season 1's re-implementation has more? Oh my god, they're still going.
Uh-huh.
You want to hear about the new Aether Phaser I invented for my golem? I modeled it after Scarlet's tech.
Uh-huh.
It works just fine, but I have to keep adjusting the gorometer.
Uh-huh.
This is good.
I had to shave down the Minius array wheel in order to get it to fit on Scruffy, but I got it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I want to say it with him.
Next, I'm gonna make him a panmetric listening device so he can warn me in advance if someone's sneaking up
I have
on
no
me.
memory of any of this, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Bram.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I like you. Because you're big and dumb.
Shut up.
Oh, that was actually kind of cute and funny. That was good. I told you so. I told you all. I knew Scarlet had grand plans. But did you listen? No. And now there's at least one dragon, maybe more, and who want to destroy all of Tyria. Oh, by the way, the children's drawings, double-click to consume luck, I guess, instead of karma. I think this is the reward for the very first Flame and Frost episode, like the fixing sign stuff, gave us this drawing, which you ate for karma or whatever, and the community found it funny. And I think by giving this here at the very end, they're kind of nodding back to where the season began. It's kind of a nice little bookend type thing that they're doing there. I think, anyway. Oh, did I dream that they upped the luck cap? I think I did dream that. I don't know why that's in my head, but it is. And now there's at least one dragon, maybe more, who want to destroy all of Tyria. You also told us that Scarlet was fascinating. I didn't lie, she was. Okay, maybe I underestimated just how dangerous she was, but that's a minor thing. I just wanted to see her lab and maybe be her apprentice for a while. She'd have killed you. I know that, that's why I didn't do it, silly. You were right about her grand plans, though. Would she have killed her? She collaborated with several people without killing them. It would be nice if there was a My Trin mentioned, speaking of which, here. Look at Marjorie's shadow on the wall there. You really believe that stuff about Scarlet poking the dragon? The dragon. Yeah, ooh, I'm sorry, Bram. Yeah, I do. Well, you've got it right. Oh, time he interrupted. Scarlet wanted to reach a dragon, and she succeeded. Quite impressive when you stop to think about it. I have a theory about why, but what do you think? Why do our greatest minds ever do anything? In order to know, to learn, and to understand. I think she was more practical than she let on. Or more crazy. I'm going to guess she was hoping to make the dragon or two mad so they would attack. Doesn't matter. All that matters is she's dead now. How's your leg? It's okay. Better. I'm ignoring it. My legend is in the bog. And I can't believe I have to wait for this leg to get better. It's making me as crazy as Scarlet. Your legend isn't in the bog. Sure it is. I might as well be starting from scratch. I'll go down in history as the guy who couldn't hold his own in the fight against Scarlet. This is interesting, isn't it? It kind of feels like it's telegraphing some story where Bram will have his own legend. And he's doing it for his own legend. But that never really happens. Yes, there's the Prime Order stuff later, but the motivation's different, I think. Anyway. I personally reported your victory to over Scarlet to Logan. He sends his regards. That was kind of... Yeah, later on, after End of Dragons, Logan's dipping in and stuff too, which is good. That was kind of you. It was purely selfish. For the first time in my life, I actually feel sincere when I brag about the people I fight beside. I've never felt that in the Ministry Guard. Why did you quit the Guard? That's a long story, perhaps for another day. I'll just say that I overstayed my welcome. Did they kick you out? No, I quit off my own accord. I guess I couldn't take the political games anymore. I'm a simple woman, right and wrong, truth and lies. I'm not a fan of grey. This whole dragon thing has me sick to my stomach. Why can't they just go back to sleep? It's complicated. Say, are those your roses? Oh, the ones on the table there? Yeah, isn't Jory sweet? She got them for me because she's proud of how I stood up to Scarlet. As she should be. How are you after all that? I still can't believe it was me. And you. You were amazing. We fielded everything we threw at her. It was like we were one mind. I couldn't have done it without you. Oh, sure you could have. All I did was distract her a bit. You're the one she was really afraid of. It would have been nice to have had a moment where she seemed afraid of me, but she didn't. Feels good to overcome evil. I never thought until I met Jory and you that I'd be the kind of person who'd overcome evil. I noticed something though. My hiccups are gone. Oh, the bartender spoke. This life's one wet bar rag after another, he said. He just said that to himself. Did you guys see that? Suspicious. My E-alarm's going off. Perfect position for him to spy, or he might be one of E's little birds, you know. I bet you're wondering why Frostbite and I are hiding out in a human bar in a human city. Not especially, we were all invited. Well, since you asked, Frostbite is afraid to report to the Ritlock. Since we didn't actually help kill Scarlet, exactly, I've been ignoring his summons. I don't know if I'm ashamed or scared, or why are you afraid? Surely I'll understand. It's a Char thing. Technically, you could gut me for disobeying an order. What? You mean court-martial, right? No, I mean it's within his rights to kill me on the spot for disobeying his direct order. And besides, I don't think I want to join his warband, not after everything that's happened. Change of heart. I've met all of you now. If I joined the Stone Warband, well, I'm afraid all of this would have come to an end, and I don't want that. You've helped me in so many ways. Rox, are you okay? I'm okay, I just never imagined I'd be this happy. I found my own warband in all of you. You and Bram helped me in so many ways. If Nonus could see me now. This is too early for a resolution, you know? It's so weird. You know what always grates me about Guild Wars? It's the happy family, we're all a bonded community crap. And it's like, it's because it feels unearned a lot of the time. And look at this, even here, after just a couple of stories in Season 1, they're already going hard with it. You know what would have been so much better? To actually have Rox leave now, but have some compelling reasons for her to be around or whatever. You know, maybe have her regret it later after she's made the mistake. But no, it's just, oh, look. Nonus, have you mentioned before? My mate. He died during a cave-in. My entire warband died that day, actually. Rufinus, Skewer, remember back in the mine how I said I was afraid of explosions? Oh, Rox, I'm sorry. It's okay. It's been a long time, but standing here now, I'm okay. I'll never not miss Nonus. I miss him with all my being, but now I have all of you. I found my own warband. Like, this is lame. Why are all the characters so lame? She's a Char! Wait, did Liz just say, we love you, Rox? We love you, Rox! We're already telling each other that we love each other. It's... I don't know, am I an alien? Do I have no soul? This, to me, is just not interesting. I think the thing is, I want to see strife and hardship. I don't want to see... Even in... You know, this is supposed to be a celebratory atmosphere, I suppose, right? So... I don't know, I guess some people love this and get a vibe and feel all warm and happy and butterflies in their stomach and stuff, and I don't know. I'm not against that. I just really think you have to earn it, and I don't know whether it is here. Am I just a bastard? Alright, well, whatever. We love you, Rox. I love you, Bram. I love you, Timey, even though I only met you 2 days ago. I love you, Marjorie. And I love you, Casimir, but don't be jealous. I only mean as a friend, as a family member. Because that's what we are. We're family. Now I'm going to go see my other... Oh, you're a member of the family, Scruffy. Let's go to see my last family member, who is Logan. Oh, where are you, Logan? I assume I'm going to speak to Logan. I don't know why. Weeks later.
That's why he's in business. Hope you
get
like
another mail. Oh, what's this? Oh, Timey's Coffer of Hodden. Oh, yeah, people were telling me that you, like, combine these together and you get, like, elite spec weapons and stuff. Or something. It's not actually bigger on the inside, but the compression field can give that impression. Just don't put your hand in for long. This is why Bangar was such a breath of fresh air to me, right? And Krisha. For as limited as the Char Civil War stuff was, my god, the characters were more entertaining. Okay, it's Ellen Keel. Please join me in welcoming the Zephyrite back. Oh, here we go. Okay.
I heard about girls like you.
So, Season 2 opens basically relying on you to watch a trailer. To understand the start of Season 2, you have to watch the trailer where you watch the Zephyrites get blown out of the sky. But you also need to know who the Zephyrites are. So, let's see. This could be really good for... Because it would still feel awkward. If this bit wasn't here, it would still feel awkward to start Season 2. Because it's like, what the fuck is this Zephyrite stuff?
Simpleton.
I think this is all new, what we're playing here now. List, the Lion's Arch reconstruction effort is in full swing, but even with the help from our friends and neighbours across Tyria, it's slow going. Queen Jenna has offered her support, and our mercantile partners, the Zephyrites, okay, nice, are inbound to offer their support. Renew their commitment to our shared trade agreement and see Scarlet's devastation firsthand. I want to provide the Zephyrites with the most prestigious reception I can muster, so I'm calling on heroes like you to join me in welcoming them back. I'd consider it a great favour if you and any of your adventuring friends could join me in Lion's Arch to greet the Zephyrites. Thanks in advance. I look forward to your arrival. I tend to have this thing where I feel like males are not as good as the rest of the game for like exposition and like information, but as far as it goes, I think that's pretty good. That gets all the key information in there straight away, right? They're traders. I mean, it doesn't exactly explain that they're on airships or whatever. Captain Ellen Keel has requested your presence in Lion's Arch to greet the Zephyrite leader, the Master of Peace. Claw Island Portage. I always like going back to Claw Island Portage. Do I love the Pale Tree? Oh, I do. I love them all. I love Ellen Keel. I love Lion's Arch. And I love you, dear viewers. Everyone should be in love. Okay. Destroyed LA. Oh, nice! It's Reconstruction LA, right? Hold on, please let me explore all of this. This is Reconstruction LA. It's blown up and shit, but it's not all on fire and red. See, like, look at the gate hub. This is good. Oh, the master. Wait, is this an old scene or is this all new? I'm so impressed if this is new. I don't remember this from the past.
On behalf of the Captain's Council and this worthy assembly, welcome, Zephyrite. I'm sorry Lion's Arch is still a work in progress, but key services have been restored and the Lion Guard are patrolling.
No need to apologize, Captain. We came to offer our support and to assure you our trade agreement remains intact. To start, we're donating a shipment of much-needed supplies, which we have staged here on the docks. We're also organizing a series of attractions, with a portion of the proceeds going to the Lion's Arch Relief Fund.
That's very kind, sir, and much appreciated. We should withdraw to the council chambers to discuss details. But first, let me introduce you to some of the heroes who prevented the total destruction of our city. I present to you the team of Casimir Meade, Marjorie Delacroix, Bram Erson, Rox, and Timey?
She wasn't there.
That's right! Timey and Scruffy. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Important Zephyrite. I would love a chance to inspect...
Smile and wave, Timey. Just smile and wave. Please?
Along with their leader, these brave people have been the city's staunchest and most effective volunteer defenders. They brought down Scarlet Briar once and for all, and they did so at considerable cost to themselves.
I am honored to meet you all. In the face of such barbarity, the cause of peace requires formidable defenders.
The cannon's kind of changed a bit
here,
here, right?
Diversions at Labyrinthine Cliffs. I understand there are also amusements in Divinity's Reach.
Aye. Queen Jenna has generously reopened the Crown Pavilion and is also donating the proceeds to Lion's Arch.
Splendid. We have arranged for transport between the cliffs and the human capital.
What? Do we go to the cliffs?
Can we just go straight to Divinity's Reach? Scarlet pretty much ruined the Crown Pavilion for me last time.
By all means, experience the attractions in any order you choose. Heroes at a festival definitely help draw a crowd.
Hear, hear. The Council appreciates your participation and the positive impact it creates. Enjoy the festival.
I feel like this has to be old.
Well, our mission is to enjoy ourselves and to be seen doing it. I say we go. How's the leg?
It's fine. And before you ask again, no, I don't want one of your good luck charms.
You know one of mine won't work. It has to be personal. I wish you let me help you pick one out. Otherwise, you're gonna get injured again. Once misfortune finds you, it doesn't just go away. You have to counter it.
Wolf's tail, is this what they mean by being mothered? I'm suddenly glad mine was never around.
Nice line.
Somebody's in a sour mood. But I know a cure for crankiness. Bashing things to benefit Lion's Arch.
I like the Zephyrite. And I like seeing your face healed.
I appreciate the concern, but please, enough with the fretting about my face.
It was a lot more than a cosmetic injury, and you know it. I thought you were dead. Never scare me like that again.
So, do I get to come along this time? Or are you going to sideline me in some camp again?
Nobody's sidelined you. With all the miasma and aether blades and whatnot, we were trying to get people out, not bring them in.
You should have known better. I followed Scarlet's progress for months. Did you really think I'd miss her big finish?
Be glad you did. Some of us were there and still didn't get to see it through.
That's because I wasn't there. Let that be a lesson to you. Never make a move without Tiny and Scruffy.
Yeah, I'll think about that. Anyway, I'm off to the Divinity's Reach attractions. I'll see you around, kid.
I've just realised I must have missed some of the
Are you going to the festival?
lore, right?
Bram
in the
said
dead
I
end
could
bar
go.
a minute ago.
Did he now? From what I've heard, you have a slight problem with the truth where Bram is concerned.
Jory, be nice. Of course you can go. Miss Delacroix is naturally suspicious. Pay her no mind.
Oh, I won't. But Brown wants to go see Divinity's Reach, and I'd rather see Zephyrite stuff. Can I go with you?
Where are your actual legal guardians? Didn't Progeny Protective Services assign someone to you?
They know where I am, obviously. But let's just say I released myself on my own reconnaissance.
This is interesting. It's about her parents again. I gotta know, is this new or not? I have no memory of this in the past. It's really interesting what they've done here, because they've made it quite clear that there's a festival going on and you can go to the Labyrinthine Cliffs, but they've also put it right at the end of the episode so the player can't do it. But it makes it feel like it's happened in the story anyway. I kind of like what they did there. It's quite elegant, quite clever. But yeah, I'm guessing I missed some of the lore in the Dead End Bar a minute ago, because wasn't there a written text? Also, this is all pretty good. If this was all newly written, it's really interesting to see how they sort of re-immerse themselves into what the characters were like back then. I like the scene. I think it does a lot. Let's see whether, because there's surely some paper here.
I'm glad to see everyone coming together in support of Lion's Arch. Scarlet nearly destroyed the whole city, so it'll take a global effort to bring it back.
Well, will you get back to investigating? We do have a lot to follow up on, don't we? I figure as soon as we're done here, both Jory and Bram are fully healed. We'll be right back into the thick of things. How are things with you and Jory? We're very happy. She's a little sore from her injuries, but she's eager to get back to a regular workload. We both are. This is a little public for me, but it's for a good cause. It's nice to be out and about with Kaz without us having to track down criminals and malcontents. What's next for Delacroix investigations? You mean besides following up on that roar we heard after Scarlet fell, healing up, spending time with Kaz, and enjoying this festival? Don't worry. I'll be ready for action soon enough. You two seem to be getting along. You have a keen eye. I'd say we're happier than two Skrit in a jewelry store after hours. That's a nice metaphor.
Me.
I'm glad to be on the VIP guest list this time around. I might not have had a direct hand in killing Scarlet, but Scruffy and I did our share to leading up to it. Still a fan of Scarlet's? Hardly. I admired her ingenuity and her work was impressive, but she was way too haphazard in her methodologies. I'm working on a research paper about her though. Want to hear what I have so far? Yeah, alright. First thing Scarlet did was combine Dredge and Flame Legion as the Molten Alliance. They leveled the whole villages, took dozens of captives, and drove hundreds from their homes. Next, she had Aetherblade pirates assassinate a member of the Captain's Council during Dragon Bash. The idea was to create a vacancy that she could fill with one of her minions. Then she hijacked the Queen's Jubilee and Divinity's Reach and turned the Watch Knights into her own mechanical shock troops. She also tried to kill the Queen, stripped a foppish nobleman down to his undies, and threw him in a big cauldron. She converted a Nightmare Court Arbor into an Aetherblade ship factory, and then she got the Crate to work with the Nightmare Court. This toxic alliance raised a huge plant tower in Kessex Hills to manufacture a debilitating hallucinogen. It made people's worst fears and memories seem to come to life. Very nasty stuff. She unleashed the giant marionette, I was there for that part, and roused the three-headed jungle worm. This is when she realised that she was looking for ley lines, specifically the one under Lion's Arch. The two pieces of content that were not in this playthrough here was the worm and the dungeon. She hit the arch with everything she had. The city was almost destroyed and had to be evacuated, but a brave band of heroes were there to stop her. That didn't include me, but even though I helped figure out the ley line stuff. Her attack roused something. Everybody who heard that awful noise after Scarlet fell. We don't know what made it, which brings us up to the present day. Scarlet's gone, but whatever she set in motion is still a threat. But as soon as we find that threat, we put a stop to it, because this time Scruffy and I will be there. In the end, well, what do you think? It's still a work in progress, and I'd like to add some illustrations and schematics of Scarlet's greatest creations, but I think it's a good start. I see what they're doing here. It's to, like, recap and get it very solid in everyone's mind what this story was, because it is a bit messy and all over the place. It's a good idea to have this in it. It's funny to me that they frame it as some kind of scientific journal, when it's one of the most basic retellings of the story you could do. Schematic of what exactly? I mean, I guess a watch night or whatever. You've really done your homework. Good job. I got an achievement for listening to that.
I've got so many random items from all
Wasn't
this.
me.
How are you feeling? My legs are good today discomfort-wise, but I can't get complacent. My mobility is capricious, changing from 1 hour to the next. Luckily, Scruffy is always standing by. I'm wondering how you like being counted among the heroes. Kyo invited. I'm glad to be on the VIP list. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Are you E?
Nice to see you.
There's somebody put a post on the WoodenPotatoes subreddit, and I've mentioned a lot. So I'm leaning into it today. Here's Ella McKay.
Every day's a good day to learn
Oh
something
my god,
new.
so much. Oh, okay, very nice. I like it. Stroke of genius. They've put the replay cinematic here. It's another version of what we just had Timey do. Hey, Liz, I've been documenting this. Let's see. Yeah, go for it. Oh,
Scarlet Briar. Where should I begin? No one at first knew why she began her reign of terror. Some say she peered into the very fabric of the universe and went insane. Her attacks began in the northeast and spread like fire.
always like that Guild Wars 1
She
map.
formed uneasy alliances and controlled her minions through deception and brutality. She leveraged their technology to scan for currents of magical energy called ley lines. Each attack had a purpose, allowing her to collect data from across Tyria that would later be used to assault Lion's Arch. When all hope seemed lost, the heroes of Tyria rose to the task, along with new allies. Bram Arison of Kragstead. Rox Whetstone, Gladium. Casimir Mead, Mesmer. Marjorie Delacroix, Investigator. And Timey.
Why do I feel like there
Prodigy
should be
from
music?
Radasoon. Led by the Pact Commander, they dismantled Scarlet's operations. But while they reclaimed the city at the Battle of Lion's Arch, they would later discover that she had completed her mission, even in death. Scarlet's machine struck the ley line deep beneath Sanctum Harbor, directing its magic far into the Maguma jungle, changing the course of history.
Okay, so in the live chat, people are saying that this is old. It was a scene when the Festival of the Winds came around the second time. That makes a lot of sense to me. It's really good. It's very clear. I don't think Ella McKay would have been here though with this recap cinematic at the time. So it is. It's quite nice how they've sort of connected things together. There's kind of two levels I'm enjoying season 1 on. There's playing it again and being happy that it's in the game, and then there's also kind of the meta level of being interested in how 2022 has re-implemented all this random shit back together. And then I'm not going to do all of these like details on the characters because we know all of it. We've listened to this multiple times in other videos and other projects and other places. So, but there is a lore note here on this barrel. Crinkled letter. This is from the Master of Lightning. So the Zephyr writes, Teacher, I send good tidings from the Labyrinthine Cliffs. The weather is balmy with a light rain, but the other Aspect Masters and I are working to make certain there'll be nothing but clear skies ahead for our journeys west. That's interesting, their idea of weather manipulation with all their like air magics. I hope repair efforts in Lion's Arch fare just as well. They've been through much. Sorry, let me reread that again. I hope repair efforts in Lion's Arch fare just as well. They've been through much. If only they knew there was a greater cause to hope. Glint's legacy is with us, a shining beacon to herald a new age. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's hard not to be excited. I wish you well in your charitable efforts. Festivities in the bazaar are nearly ready for visitors. Here's to one last hurrah before we embark. Alas, and so we go. Master of Lightning. As I was reading that, I was really hoping to hear something about their cargo, you know, the suggestion of the egg or whatever. But they're actually quite hands-off about that, I guess. You guys I didn't talk to, did you? This could be fun. I mean, the other part when we're done here, we beat Scarlet, but do we have to stand around on display like trophies? How's the leg? Did Rox tell you to say that? Never mind. My leg's fine. Scarlet broke my bones, but I'm still on my feet. I'm getting stronger every day.
Carry on.
Glad to be here with all my teammates. We deserve to bask a bit in the crowd's appreciation after our victory over Scarlet. Plus, they say us being here is good for Lion's Arch. Any word from Ritlock? Nothing conclusive. He's been pretty terse and distant. Well, more terse and distant than usual. I'm made for the best and preparing for the worst. Why are you here? Well, we're here for the festival. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I love you, Rox. Bye-bye.
I think the next expansion, that's what I'm going to do when I do my playthrough of it. You guys excited about that? It's the end of every conversation. Oh my god, the Mist Stranger's here. I did just see in the live chat someone was saying that. The Mist Stranger's here.
This city has seen great tragedy, but the bravery you and your compatriots showed has set it on a path of healing. It will not be the same as it was, but it will bear its scars proudly.
I don't know, that was, the whispering voice is not good. I don't know, I want him to have an interesting voice. Still, I wish we could see Lion's Arch as it was before. Many wish to dwell in the past, to their own ill. Hey, that's me! But to draw strength from your memories, good and bad, is one of the ways of a true hero. In this, allow me to aid your journey. What do you mean? In the distant north, there is an ancient and powerful tool known as the Scrying Pool. Strengthen your memories by gathering mementos of your adventures up until now, and a new vision may open. Alright, let's see where this goes. Gather mementos from each episode of Living Story Season 1 by completing their respective merit achievements. That's so cool. I had no idea the goddamn Mist Stranger was involved with getting the Lion's Arch key. I had no idea. So basically, you know, fully complete each episode. The Breachmaker Drive Leave. I wish I could have helped out some more. Look, I made this with some stuff Bram looted up there. The Dried Thorn of Nightmare. It's hard to forget that horrible place, but it's destroyed now, down to the roots. The Pavilion Champions Medal. If this city's got the right idea sometimes, it's my kind of party, and you know, we did some good together on the way, Bram. Aether Blade Signet Ring. We caught the killer, but they were no lone crook looking for part-time work in the investigation business, Marjorie. I like the idea of another Signet Ring. I really enjoy all the Ascended items. And it feels like that could have been one. A Fused Gear. Keep it for luck, and don't forget, you saved a lot of people down there. Hold on, so is that every character? Hasn't someone been skipped over? I guess not. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't realise that about the Mist Stranger. So I feel bad now, though, because we missed one bit of lore. Here, timey summary. Yeah. Oh my god, I've missed 2. Dancing with Death, Lion's Arch honoured guests. And then, oh wait, so there's another one here somewhere. And a letter from Dad. Oh shit, that might actually be interesting. Marjorie's dad, I presume. Oh, or Casimir's. Oh no, Casimir's is dead. Oh, here, over here. Dancing with Death. Oh, it's the Snargle piece. Alright, okay, here we go then. Chapter 144. Me. They understand fanfictions. Oh, I see. I think I saw a tweet about this. Who was it? One of the devs tweeted that some of the last work they did before they left the studio was in this patch, and I think it was related to this. I think there's some fan art of this. This is a fan fiction from Snargle, and the idea is it's like a romance between Abaddon and Doom, which is pretty funny, because they're like the two most badass, grim, you know, edgelordy entities in this universe, and then you're pairing them up. It's pretty good. Yeah, it was Connor, right? Connor Fallon. Alright, so here we go. I don't know how to voice Abaddon. They can't do this. Abaddon's voice cracked. You don't deserve to be. They find my methods too harsh, my dear. Even now he approaches to replace me. But if they knew half the things I knew, the secrets of this world, they would never... Doom reached out and gently clasped his lover's betentacled face. All things come to an end, my sweet calamari, he said, wiping away the tears one by one. Others may not understand the value of that, but we do. The lights dimmed in the cathedral of eternal radiance. What a place to set it. As Death's disco ball descended from above, it sent eerie light bouncing off the walls, reflected in turn in Abaddon's many eyes. This is quite creative, actually. It's thought about various physical attributes of them. Come, let us write the conclusion to our legend, Doom said, extending his hand to his partner. Let us have our last dance. The two gods slowly circled the cathedral hall, hands on hips, drawing out this last stolen moment together. It had been love at first sight, Abaddon knew, and no matter what Doom believed, that love would never die. If anyone else ever tries to dance with me, Abaddon swore, I'll obliterate them. That is not only quite funny, in as much as it's a stupid idea, but it's actually incredibly nerdy. and very good, because this is obviously referencing the Guild Wars 1 Easter egg in Nightfall, where if you dance in front of Abaddon, you insta-die. And it's actually also in Guild Wars 2 in the Dome and Priory Library, where you dance in front of the statue and you die. That's very, very cool. I'm quite impressed with this, because it's funny and it's stupid and it's goofy, but it's also very nerdy and demonstrates a very deep understanding of these guys. I like it. It has my respect. Well done, Snargle. Okay, so one more thing. We've got to go get that letter. And then, I don't know, what should I do? Get the key off screen? Maybe? Is that something I should do today? But other projects? Other things? I don't know. Alright, let's leave Instance. Okay, this isn't too bad then. And then you kick up Season 2, and what happens? You get a letter. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, I'm a new player. Ooh. Wait, hold on. Some days had passed since Scarlet's demise, and while the battle was won, we heard the echoing roar that shook the foundations of Tyria. Ominous signs aside, Casimir invited me to a little gathering at the Dead End Bar. The whole gang was there, even Timey. She was up in arms about Scarlet, the drill, the ley lines, all of it. When I finally spoke with Casimir, she touched on the topic of on all our minds. We were dealing with a new Elder Dragon. The sobering moment was interrupted by the arrival of a Seraph soldier, Belinda Delacroix, Marjorie's sister. The two of them caught up a little after introductions, but Belinda didn't stay long. She was headed west to a new assignment in the Maguma Wastes. I received a letter from Kiel. The reconstruction of Lion's Arch was already underway, thanks to the support of Queen Jenna and the chariot of the Zephyrhites. The captain hoped that our little group... That's a nice little thing there, because it kind of helps to pave over us suddenly getting to Disneyland, you know. What would be really cool... You know, I keep talking about Lion's Arch and the state of... What would have been... You know, the first time, when you make a new character, the first time you go to Lion's Arch, you see the Disneyland cutscene? They should disable that for new characters now. New characters shouldn't see the Disneyland cutscene on First Entry. The Disneyland cutscene should play right here, right now. When I clicked exit instance a second ago, that's when we should get the Disneyland cutscene. Introducing formally the new city. Even though I know we would have been travelling around it because it's all clunky, but whatever. The captain hoped our little group of heroes would be available to receive the nomadic group's lead and the Master of Peace. After some formalities, we were finally introduced and received compliments from both the captain and the Zephyrite Master. They suggested we make ourselves seen at the various events being held to support the Lion's Arch relief effort, if only to drum up donations. Bram and Rox were quick to depart the Crown Pavilion, while Timey stuck with Marjorie and Casimir, opting to visit the Labyrinthine Cliffs and the festivities there. This all feels like just irrelevant, right? Because it's not like we can interact with any of that. As my new comrades went their separate ways, I felt as though we'd finally turned the page on a new chapter. I like this last line. Finally, Living World Season 1 is implemented. A new day dawns. We've got rid of the Elder Dragons. Not interested in telling their story anymore. We got rid of this busy work here. Now let's move on to a golden era. But yeah, so I get a mail. Strange happenings. It's from E. Ooh. This is good, because now it's like, oh, okay, it's E, that guy I know before, instead of who the fuck is this? Strange happenings. Liz, I'm well aware of just how busy you are. However, you've heard the theories that Scarlet disturbed one of the dragons. I fear these theories have merit. My eyes and ears in Brisbane wildlands are reporting mysterious incursions into previously quiet areas. Go see for yourself. I hope your curiosity will spur you into action. Okay, as it is now implemented, Season 1 is definitely the weakest season. Season 2, just thinking about what's coming up with Dry Top and all that shit, is easily way better and way more coherently told and everything, right? And Season 2 is the weakest, is weaker than 3, which is weaker than 4. The Icebreed Saga is a mixed bag, because it's actually very good for vast quantities of it, and then it, like, collapses. If you really want a good, you know, I would say even-handed assessment of the Icebreed Saga from me, if I've ever been even-handed. Check out the playlist I made right before End of Dragons came out, where I did the whole game, and you'll sort of see how that falls apart. So the Icebreed Saga is very difficult to judge. But yeah, so Season 1's at the bottom of the pile, but that doesn't mean this wasn't a worthwhile initiative. Also, apparently I got all the achievements done for the BFA. First time. But yeah, the other thing I want to do is go back, go here, go here. Purple star at the Dead End Bar, please. Yes, thank you. I was a little worried they might not do it because it's kind of just a talky instance. It's basically a
Who wants
cutscene,
a pet that talks back?
but it seems good to me.
They say that Kotica should take the throne.
Man, that chocobo took a long time to load in there. I forgot how good all of Liz's mounts are. We have chocobo mount. We have badger mount. We have hummingbird. All beautifully dyed as well, you'll notice. We have, what's it called? Oh my god, I can't remember what this is called. The Japanese legend thing. We have the griffin. We have the armadillo, who has a really good dismount sound effect. We have the Roman Warclaw. Have they added any more of these? I don't know what they've been doing with World vs. World. And then we have the best Sky Scale die scheme skin possible. Look at that. Look at the detail there. Look how edgy and badass I look. I need to change my back piece so I look more like a witch. But that'll be a thing for later. Okay. Replay celebration. And let's mute the dialogue. As fascinating as it was a second ago. How the fuck did I miss a letter in here? It's only a small little room. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if they'd hidden it up here? In fact, I'm amazed just to see there's so much detail at the top of the bar up there. I guess that would be a pain in the ass for big characters. On one of the tables, maybe? I mean, do we have to listen to all the celebration again in order to read it? For it to activate? Can anyone in the live chat clarify that for me? Because we might have to. Unless it's like hidden out here or something. And in the event that we do have to, I mean, we can just chat together here while they ramble away. It's the table near the entrance after Belinda. Okay, Belinda drops the letter on the table next to the door when she leaves. Oh, we got to check out that animation. Alright then, guys. So here, I'm looking... You finally, after being treated like second-class citizens for so many of these videos, you have my full attention, live chat right now. What did people make of all of this? Someone give me their thoughts for me to bounce off of. I mean, I like the depth. You guys probably can't see it, but behind the gates, there's a really good depth effect back there. Yeah, I'm curious to see what everyone else thought of all of this, and, you know, whether you think they were wasting their time bringing Season 1 back. You know, I'm happy to see an opinion. I think you're wrong about that, but I'm happy to see people feel that way. You think it was a decent attempt they did for the implementation? You liked the strike mission? I mean, yeah, I haven't played that yet. It's good to see you, Boots, by the way. Boots, now that this is... Give me a few more videos, and then we'll do that thing we talked about. You got Lion's Pride yesterday, and you loved getting to go back. Felt like home. Yeah. I still haven't really heard, guys. Is it all the NPCs there, all with all their ambient dialogue, all the old jumping puzzles with achievements? Is there a bank and a TP, and is everything perfectly there? Is it? Because that's quite interesting. I still don't know exactly how the implementation's been done. You dislike that the hologram fight was moved to solo rather than open world, or both? Oh, I can see that. Yeah, like why wouldn't they just tack it on? Why not have both for the big open world thing? I really need to figure out what the name for that kind of content is. Oh shit, by the way, they're not just talking. I've got to keep interacting. Alright, there you go. They're talking away again. Even the old fractals pool. Nice. That is cool. It's old LA before the Breachmaker, minus the pirate jumping puzzle. That's blocked off. Oh, that's interesting. What about the other ones, though? Like the one with the pipe and all that kind of stuff? The Biogden's hammer guy? Yeah, that's cool. I'm very curious to see what extra lore gets rounded out on the wiki, just because now we can much more clearly find all that ambient dialogue, you know? Kosich said something quite interesting, that he found a really rare line. A failure dialogue from a dynamic event mentions the name of the Skrit's afterlife, which I don't actually know what it was, but he mentioned that in Spud the other day. And it makes me think, you know, that there is still a chance that there's lots of little things that aren't properly documented. And Old Lion's Arch is probably one of those places, you know. Oh, there you go. There was a lot of unanswered questions about who Scarlet was that were answered for me. Very much needed story. Yeah, there was a comment on one of these videos that I've just made where someone said... They said, WP, rate all the villains. You know, rate Balthazar versus Scarlet versus, you know, whoever else. And they were like, yeah, Scarlet's the best. I didn't know if I was being trolled or not. I really didn't. I didn't know if it was ironic or a joke. But I think they were serious. And they were serious because the grounds on which they were talking in this comment was... they were saying Scarlet had the least. You know, she was just a rando that ended up accomplishing a lot, and on those grounds Scarlet was the best villain, which I think is a bit of a weird way of judging her, and in a way is sort of that's a method of warping what is quite unbelievable storytelling into an apparent perk of the character. But yeah, I mean, that was quite interesting, and it's nice to know that a new generation of people will actually, you know, have a solid concept now. I guess it's somewhat sad to me that it's only today this patch came. Couldn't they have just waited with the Steam launch till now? It's before Christmas. Launch on Steam now. You know? But on the other hand, not everyone's a crazy hardcore. Maybe someone who bought it on Steam over the summer is only slowly progressing, and they are going to get all of this in one nice long batch as they go. So... By the way, yeah, this is totally free, right? It's not time-gated. It's just forever free. It's like Personal Story. Anka is a better version of Scarlet. Yeah, Anka is great. I see how you can sort of see her as a similar archetype. They're both mind-broken geniuses, right? I mean, but yeah, Anka is really good. Anka is one of my favourite things about End of Dragons. End of Dragons, I have a lot of really, really happy feelings about, and then some stuff that I just think was just awful. But Anka is definitely in that pro camp for me. I thought she was good. WP, is this exactly what you remember doing when the OG came out? Well, standing here waiting for Belinda to drop a letter? No. No, it's a lot harder to translate what I'm currently doing into what it used to be. Because it used to be... It was lots of little flashes, you know? It was like... Oh, do 15 minutes here, and then it's wait 2 weeks for the next thing, you know? Or do a little something, and then a little something else, and it's sort of all over the world. This is much more as clunky as it is. It does actually feel like a linear story. The original actual launch of it didn't feel like that at all. A lot of the original Season 1 was more like, okay, here's some extra story which will function as a supplement to your pre-existing goals, rather than being the event itself. Do you know what I mean? And definitely the second half of Season 1, that impression changed. But, yeah, for that reason, it kind of doesn't land. Here you go. Here's the letter. Letter from Dad. Marjorie. So, what? Did she surreptitiously place this here for Marjorie to find later? That's a nice little touch. Marjorie, I don't want to intrude, but when your sister told me she was going to stop by the bar, I wanted to write. Hello. This is your father. We don't get a name for him. Oh! Hold on. Removing South Sun definitely helped with the cohesiveness. Well, see, I don't know whether I agree with that. I think that Canuck missing here is the one last bone to pick, isn't it? I mean, Canuck's kind of here, but you have to be... To find him in that prison cell, I don't think that was good enough, really. Anyway, Marjorie, I don't want to intrude, but when your sister told me she was going to stop by the bar, I wanted to write. Hello, this is your father. I know we haven't spoken in a while, but your mother isn't feeling well. Elise is 7 months pregnant and can't help at the house much. And Muriel is already running the shop with my growing absences. I'm trying not to be intrusive here, and I'm not trying to make demands. Your mother would just like to see you. I would like to see you too. I hope you're recovering. We pray to the Six every night that you'd make it home alive. Casimir too. We'd love to meet her someday if you'd like that. Best, Dad. Okay, well, I don't really know what to make of that, except that... What is it suggesting? That some of the strange relationship they have is partly due to Marjorie as much as the dad? I don't know. Seems like a reasonable guy. But she said she tries to avoid him, right? So what's the story there? That's good. That's a nice little tease. Things to come. And since we've got, you know, the wedding coming up next patch, that's quite good as well. Weirdly enough, that so much of this returns to the origins of these characters and like where they came from and stuff, that now that wedding scene hopefully will feel a little bit better and a little bit more connected and a little bit more meaningful, because you know, in a weird way, Season 1's a good thing to play right before it comes out. Turtle, it's good to see you. Now I can share my thoughts on Season 1. I'm really glad it's in the game. It's very important for story continuity. It gives you intros not only to Destiny's Edge 2.0, but also little characters like Belinda. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and again, that's actually one of the biggest things, that just having a real introduction to these characters is very important. The thing is, I do think it feels pretty low quality to play. But then so did the personal story. And you'd be surprised how low people's standards are, you know. People can suck up some pretty bad stuff in the hope that it will get better later. And, you know, once Guild Wars 2 gets that reputation, that it gets better later, I think people will drive through it. Final Fantasy is a very, very good example here, where that's very terrible too. For hours and hours, it's terrible. But you have, like, this epic horde of nerds telling you it will get good later, and if you trust them, and you sit around long enough, it does. And Guild Wars 2 could totally be in that position one day. I don't think it is in that position right now. The thing that I kind of missed out on, and I think it's a bit of a shame, is obviously I missed the Steam launch, but as far as I could see, the Guild Wars 2 community went nuts shilling this game, like really, really heavily, like pushing it. And so maybe they'll continue to do that as time goes forwards. I mean, it's clearly got a fan base that will fight for it, which is nice, because for many years it's felt like the fan base won't fight for Guild Wars. You gave up halfway through Echo Vowed? You never finished End of Dragons? Yeah, you know, I was impressed by it the whole way through. There were lots of, like, big picture decisions that I didn't like, but I was entertained as I went through it. And I have a generally very positive impression. I do, however, have a friend who said it started strong and he couldn't finish it. He, like, you know, stopped halfway or whatever. So I don't think you're alone. A lot of people did do that. Angry horde of nerds. You don't know who he's talking about. Oh, man, it's good to see the tato right there, Rocker. Oh, the emotes and stuff. The shilling is cringe. I don't know what I think about it, because, you know, I'm an ally to Guild Wars 2, generally speaking, and I want to see it do well. But as a bit more of an outsider during that time, it was a bit weird to see, I don't know, what I considered to be somewhat unearned fanaticism. But that's a whole other story and a bit of a downer, so let's not get into that. But yeah, I'm keen to see the new stories come out. Now, as for the rest of this playlist, I don't know. I think you'll see another part on this playlist down the line where it's me exploring old LA. But I don't know. This playlist will probably end here. That said, tomorrow I'll do another Guild Wars 2 video just like this. Maybe we'll look at the balance. We'll start trying to catch up with other things that have happened with the game and changed with the game. You guys can definitely drop comments and what do you want to see me do? What am I still missing out on? Okay, treat me like a noob. Treat me like a complete outsider. What should I fill in on? You know, and we can, you know, do another hour and a half video tomorrow. We'll keep doing stuff. But as far as Season 1's concerned, that's basically it. And I do want to do a review, but I think we've got to finish the side achievements and stuff first. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thanks for the feedback, the back and forth. It's been fun to have some company. Hope you enjoyed. And I hope you enjoyed, despite my angry ranting about loving rocks. And yeah, this guy's E as a final thought there. I'll see you guys on the next one. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Take care now. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, like the strikes there, that's something we can do. Yeah, there's definitely things. Oh, the extra life storyline? Yeah. Yeah, that might be what we do tomorrow. Who knows?